You know,
What?
what was it that you're talking about?
The Garrison covered that for the individual and how the revenue this and
Which Shigeru Sakaidish?
what stories about who going
Oh,
to
Igris.
no no he also said there will go the other. He did but very clear no she goes. His wife goes. His wife's a little tough. So a little more
And I both say Hilchos Tefillin.
you're out. No, you're out.
Hilchos Tefillin.
Mhm.
Sif Lamed Hey, page Pei Vav. Bottom of page Pei Vav. Mutter Levarich al Tefillin She'ulin. She'adam Yosef de Chavase v'Tefillin Shel Chaverei. Person can make a bracha on tefillin which you borrowed. There's no din that it has to be lachem, it has to be yours. Find by certain mitzvahs that you have to own it to be your mitzvah.
Same thing like that's the house.
Tefillin is not that. Tefillin you're allowed to do shum. By tzitzis, it has to be yours. So that's what
Palace.
palace, yeah. We say the shul talisim are donated. The shul gives it on condition that when you borrow it, they're giving it to like a matana manas lahachzir. Umin ha-Torah, Adam yoitzei chevasei afilu betfilin gezulin. Afilu dayan nismayu shu abayla mehem she'ein atfilin sichin liyis mishalei dafke. Min adin, if it was stolen tefillin, you're also yoitze, because it doesn't have to be your tefillin at all. Min ha-Torah. Top of page Pei Zayin. Avol chachamim poslu tefillin gezulin kols man shehein b'reshus hagazlin. Afilu kanisyoy shu abayla mehem she mitzvah haba yidei aveda. Even though it's already a yush, the Bible gave up on it. Still, it's a mitzvah haba yidei aveda. V'himu usa l'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's disgusting to do a mitzvah with it for Hashem. V'minichon lo yivarach alein. Don't make a bracha on them. Kivan she'ein kan mitzvah klal. There's no mitzvah. Val bracha zu nemar ubeitzeya beirach needs Hashem. However, in Sif Lamed Vav he clarifies. If they're still by the gazlan and you use the tefillin by him, you know this guy steals tefillin. He has tefillin and you want to use the tefillin. You need tefillin. Say no. The Minatari, you're right. But the Rabbanon mitzvah b'aveda. But what happens if the gazlan sold it? Avamocher gazlan tefillin odem acher. You know, he went and sold the sold tefillin. In Krainus Yosha, the Bailam already gave up, they long gave up hope of buying a new pair, of getting it back. Let's say they went and bought a new pair. And then you could make a bracha on that tefillin. Kima shakvar kana, oisam alakech, ayide yush shinu rishos. And shaloi l'chol davar, shesvar b'cheshen lishpat. And these are these simonim. The thing is that the buyer, l'keach, gets full ownership over the tefillin because there were two things occurred over here. The Bailam were miyayish. The Bailam gave up on it, so they removed themselves from it. Number two, it's no longer by the Gazlan. It left him and it went to a different ownership of someone else. It's called Shini Rishus and Yush. When you have Shini Rishus and Yush together, we say there's no problem with using the tefillin.
Was it the Goslings when he made the opinion for the buyer?
Why the same story comes with, like, let's say someone was cutting down a lovim or sregim from a pardis that was stealing,
Right.
or they cut down schach. So there's also dinim of yush and shini neshus. These dinim come up a lot. How do you know where these people are getting the stuff they're selling on the streets? Or they're selling these souk for the schach to sell this greenery. They're just going somewhere and cutting it somewhere, or they were given permission, they're allowed to take it. So if they rely on Yerush initially. So if this is the case, it became why nas the mitzvah veda. Before you put the mitzvah on, put on the tefillin, cry hoyu at tefillin kanuyim lekech v'lo yelem shem gezel. Not a problem. You don't need to own, it doesn't need to be yours. Certain mitzvahs we say, we learn out from the psukim that it needs to be lachem yours. However, other mitzvahs, it's not mechuyev to be yours.
You should expect it. Once if somebody steals somebody's film, they take out the boxes and set the talent and chilling. You can't identify it.
But the Bailam don't know about what's going on, the owners. So their use depends like on a certain amount of, like if we know that the Bailam already like gave up hope on it. We know that they went and bought a new pair of tefillin. See, they gave up hope on getting it out of the Gazan. There's a Gazan in town. He took it. They have no way to get it from him. They know the guy took it. He's a tefillin ganev. The police are not doing anything about it. And there's a certain point where the owners say, that they can't. They see they're not getting it. They gave up on it. They went to the order safer, order a new pair. We have these people. That's the guy who took it, but nothing's happening. You're not able to get it from the person.
On the other side, all right? Slowly, something was.
So, in a case where there's Yush and Shinir Rishos, then it's okay to use those tefillin. Sif Lamet Zayin. Nagu ha'olam shaloi lachleis atfilin la'acha she'amru kedushas u'valatzin. The olam has a minig not to take off tefillin till you say the kedusha in uvalatzin. Kadesh Baruch Yimlich. V'yesh misha oimer al derech hakabala tzarich liyas behen gimel kadeshim. Some say according to Kabbalah, you need to recite in the tefillin, you need to hear 3 kadeshim. Not only after the kedusha, you should hold on to the kaddish after volatzin. V'harizal lehoye choylet la'acher alkein the kabbalah. He will wait till after alkein, meaning after Aleinu.
Talking about Rashi's or
Rashi's. Yeah, Rashi's. V'yesh.
I say in Shalom, a lot of people taking off washing by the
that's true. Right.
So that was on the town.
Right.
How
Yeah. Pilot series.
Yeah, how come? Well, because you were meant to do so.
There's a letter from the Rebbe. The Rebbe explains what are these 3 kadeshim. Which 3?
Oh,
3 is the one before Yishtabach.
that come forward.
I mean before Baruch Hu. The one after Shemoneh Esrei. And then Kedusha Tzavolatziyim after.
Right.
He says the Kaddish that you say on Yom Sheni, Yom Chamishi does not count as an extra Kaddish. Now I have 3, so I could take it off earlier. And because it's not connected to the Kriyas separate from the Tefillah. The Shiloh he asks is how come we don't count the Kaddish like you're asking for Hoyvin?
Because not every time you have to say it.
Not everyone always says it.
Oh, meaning
The Yeshin Chutz Ma'alacha Kaddish Yasim. And some do not take it off till after the Kaddish Yasim after Aleinu. So we have actually, I think we have 4 levels here, yeah? The Kedushas of Alatzion, after 3 Kadeshim, after Aleinu, after the Kaddish after. Mini Chabad is that we take it off after the Shir of Tefillin, the Tefillah. And the Shir of Tefillin. Obviously, if someone's rushing, you have the various levels, so you digress to the point where you could to take off the tefillin at an earlier point.
Is there a marker for what the tefillin mentioned with the publishers putting our beginning time right after Shemon Esrei?
So many people finish one answer before Chazal the Shas.
Yeah.
Right away, they get
Right, yeah.
They say a joke in the Pele Shavel. Lama tiknu Chazal, Chazal is Hashatz.
So,
Kedei less safe tzedakah. Kedei laniach ben etam. And the third one,
we want to make sure. They know that.
third one is tzedakah ben etam. Maybe kedei lumid. A lot of them take it off during the Shemoneh Esrei. I'm not sure why. I mean, after during Chazal Hashatz, I don't know. Between.
Maybe the Chazan also when he davened.
Huh?
Rabbi Frankel to do this.
Maybe the Baruch should
Rabbi
be
Frankel does it?
I mean, I don't know if he doctor does it, but the guys who doctor in Rabbi Benny would do.
They probably want the walk from Washington or something. So they go like half a half.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some maybe there's some out there in children that they possibly might
Very hard.
I don't know.
No, very hard.
I don't know if it's possible that they want to take it off earlier. I don't know.
I don't know.
No, very hard. Right. It can. Who takes it out?
Maybe there's that kind of
He
reason.
doesn't always get boots of
There's some reason for it.
can't. Depends if you need for 1 to 6.
Curious. I can ask around.
Depends if you need 1 to 6 on. Need 1 to 6 down. So then you
I'll show you.
Sif Lamitz Ches.
Interesting.
The Yoim Sheyesh Boi Mila. Lachleitz Ad La'achar Mila. If the Mila is right after davening in Shul, keep on the tefillin for Mila. B'yoyim sheyesh b'kriyas ha'toyra, v'hu mokim shemachzina ha'sefer Torah laheichel achar kedusha v'eltziyah. And it's a mokim which the minig is that you return the sefer Torah like we do after v'eltziyah. Noyegin shevicholtza la'achar shezira ha'sefer Torah laheichel. You wait until the sefer Torah is put back. Meaning, you remember what we said earlier in the beginning of Lamed Zayin, that Nohagu Ha'ilam, most of the Ilam, takes it off after the Kedusha Volatzin. He brought in the 3 other opinions. To wait till after the Kaddish, to wait till after Aleinu, to wait after the Kaddish after Aleinu. But the Minig Ilam is after a Volatzin. So, explains that Alter Rebbe that in the day that we read the Torah, and their minig is that they put the Torah back after Volatzin. They're not right away, like some do. Some put it back right away, before Ashrei. So they put it back, we put it back after Volatzin. So then you should wait to take off your tefillin till after the Sefer Torah is back in there. B'choil hamoyed, choilsin oison koidim kriyas hahalal. Interesting. Cholamayid, we don't put tefillin on Cholamayid, but Alter Rebbe wrote the Shulchan Aruch like an Ashkenazi.
So
how do you do it like Ashkenazi? So on Cholamayid, when do you do it? You take it off before Halal. But while the Shitzim is saying Chazaras Hashatz. Take it back, take it off. Vashliach tzibur choylitz achar halal. Tzibur can't be mafsik. He's saying the chazaras hashatz. He keeps on until after halal. V'chol hamayit shel sukkis, where we take a break after Shmoneh Esrei, because she shows koydem halal b'shosha moichin esig. They had a minig to sell the Esrogim. He has time. You should also take it off before Halal. What does it mean? to sell the esrig. I think what it meant is that they used to um, there was an esrig hakohol.
Right.
People would pay to have the schos to shake the little bit esrig of the kohol. They didn't have their own. And halal, before halal was the time that people bench a little bit esrig. You see, we have an Inyan Api Kabbalah that we go into the sukkah to bench a little bit esrig. Since we go to the sukkah, it says you're supposed to do it before davening. You're going to go out before halal, go out to the sukkah and come back in. People are like, what, you're leaving the shul? So therefore, we do it before Bala Maisa and Inyan. The place to do it is to bench the lulav after Shemoneh Esrei before halal.
Yeah.
So it says, man, when the kihila is moicher the esrei, they give around the spus in this. So there's time. So Sheikh Tzibra and Chalamayit Sukkis can take off his tefillin then. And
That I remember from Shashun Kalamot. They stop. They're going to the sukkah, the bench, and then people come back and start. Hello. And the Gabba is mocking. Everybody go to the sukkah and come open. And they come back to Shun. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
what does the Vel do? They bench before halal?
Yes, Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz and Hasidim, they bench in the sukkah
What
before.
we do before that.
But even I'm saying non-Lubavitcher Hasidim.
Not about you, I'm not sure.
Says the Shulchan Aruch, the Pnei Haroyim, people are you're leaving shul, but not everyone has this minig. If people are leaving shul, remember, Amol, the shuls were all minig Ashkenaz. Sidim and Noig Api Kabbalah. So going to be go leaving shul, go to the sukkah. It's like a strange thing, a little shul in it. So therefore, before davening, we bench in the sukkah. Also, b'chalal, if you want to eat, you should also do the mitzvah first before you eat. So it's another reason why you should do it.
We're davening on the question.
Aiming for davening, so you should be able to have the little nest.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So they would sell the mitzvah to everyone, meaning you could do the mitzvah by doing matanam naslahasa, but it had a meaning that they would guess for the money, for the call, needed money, the kilo money, everyone gave money in and bought the schus to shake the little b'nesri. You didn't have like a sreigim like we have today, you know?
Why not think for the Gila?
One per town, yeah.
Everybody went to the line.
The Rav in the
They were
Shtat,
bad, and everybody had
the Rav and maybe the Gvir had a esrig, but and they didn't have as nice a sreigim as we have. But today, everyone has a beautiful, nice esrig. The Yidden didn't go down to pick the sreigim. The Goisha farmers cut the sreigim and shipped it. They weren't mumchim in a sreigim, so they didn't know what to pick. They didn't know how to clean it and keep it from getting
Stone,
yeah.
box, stone.
The Yidden know now. They show the Goyim how to do it. They show them to prune around each esrig. Each esrig is like its own baby, it has its own care. So they prune the leaves. The leaves shouldn't poke it.
The leaf is good, but the
Poke the esrig.
leaf is on the post, going back. Sure. The leaf, the opposite, the leaf is good.
What do they take off?
Between the leaves, it's small poke coming out,
Wow.
wedges. When they win, the wedge poke, you poke the head of always muscle.
Wow.
So you have to go and check this small thing.
Sif Memalef. Frish Chodesh, b'mekoyim she'oyim musaf kedushas keser. In those mekoyim that have the meaning that we say keser during musaf, like we do. We say keser during the musaf and Chodesh. Cholsin koydin tfilos musaf balachash achin tishtavolsin. You take off the tefillin before musaf, Shemoneh Esrei, after Uvalatzion. Why? Bi she'ein roi lis muchter b'tefillin b'shah She'omer keser yidin l'fa. It's not right that you should have your own keser of tefillin. While you saying keser l'fa, they gave that the malachim are giving a keser to Hashem. You yourself are wearing a keser. Feel the mekayim omer kedushas keser musaf. But again, no, you can look else according to this musaf. And even if you don't have the minig to say keser and musaf, the kedusha of keser, Alpha became still take off the tefillin difference. Minig Chabad is that we also put on tefillin then, Rabbeinu Tam. Take off the Rashis, put on Rabbeinu Tam, and after take off Rabbeinu Tam, then we down the Shmoneser. Then Beis, Achelet Tefillah Koyim Shechzira Septel Lahechel, Shechziru Septel Lahechel, L'yachlet B'fnei HaSefer Torah, L'yahofech L'tzad Acher, L'yiyah Kovet Sefer Torah, Gurua Mekod Rabbi, Talmud Chelet Tefillin B'fano. The din is that you don't take off your tefillin in front of your Rebbe. It's not respectful. So too, the tefillin should not take off your tefillin. We said earlier the minig is to wait till the Sefer Torah is put back into the oven. But if for some reason you need to take it off earlier, you shouldn't do it in front of the Sefer Torah. Turn your head the other way, take it off. Just like the din is when you're standing in front of your Rebbe, you don't take off the tefillin. The reason for this is because when you take off your tefillin, you take off your hat. And you take off your talus on top of your tefillin. You're standing in front of your Rebbe, not with covet. Someone comes to greet his rabbi, comes dressed appropriately. Should I take off tefillin? You're not really dressed properly. You're getting undressed. You're not that's not the stance you stand in front of your Rebbe. Some have this minig based on the Zohar that they walk into shul with their talus and tefillin. Correct.
How did it put on like a written blood? No burn. No burn.
See people walking around the streets in tefillin?
Very different from the time.
What do you do in a rainy day?
Now,
Guys, what do you do in a rainy day?
Rain or snow? Rain or snow?
Siv Chava, Din Mishain Tefillah Achas by Sifin, a din of someone who only has one tefillah. He doesn't have both Shalyad and Shorosh. In main Loyal Tefillah Achas, main Shi Shalyad and Shorosh, Meniach Choisa. You should put on Shiesh Loy, whichever one you have. Umavarech Aleh, and you make the bracha on it. Should call mitzvah Achas, mitzvah Fnei Atzim Achas Vazu. They're a separate mitzvahs. In the Taryag mitzvahs in the Torah, they're counted as separate mitzvahs. According to most Moinei HaMitzvahs, Ukshartim Lo Yisai Yedecha, V'hoy Yitavis Beinecha are two separate mitzvahs. And you can make a bracha on each one separately. You put them together, you might see both with one bracha. But if not, you make a bracha separately. Either one, you have only one pair, you put whatever one you have on. It's not ma'akiv one. It's not like tzitzis. If I'm missing a corner, I can't put it on. It's possible with tzitzis. No, in each tefillin itself. Let's say Rashi, you only have the shorosh. Put on the shorosh. You only have shiyat. Put on the shiyat and make a bracha on it. L'haniyach tefillin. If you only have the shorosh, your question is, what do you do? Chabad also, unless they make a hefsek. So according in the Welt, it's a good question. What should you make?
The other question is, Israeli soldiers lost his 2 feet, one hand.
I heard this. Rosh Hashanah.
I said,
Rosh Hashanah.
so he asked him which hand would fit.
Yeah.
He lost a half of it, and he was alive. So he should have been alive. I was so scared just to think about it, but yeah. You have no other choice but put it in the other hand. It's fine. You make the shin. No,
Yeah, no.
For those that only make one bracha, seemingly you should make al mitzvah tefillin. If you only put in a shalish. Those that always make two brachas, I'm not sure. Maybe they should take and make two brachas in a shalish. And you have tefillin al mitzvah.
Interesting. We'll make one company make when you. How did I go make profit? David the make. I would go very proud so before years back to put some down there.
Can't hear you. What happened?
I fell for both them. Oh,
Your tefillin what?
I fell for both this. Don't put it in the suggestions. Very much. We're going to put on somewhere.
So what do you say? Which bracha to make? Laniach tefillin?
Yeah.
Just laniach?
on shalosh.
That is
Maybe going to Nifzoim and ask people, put in this, and I have no time. Say, okay, at least just put shalosh, say Shema.
Well, what bracha do they say?
Make the next two.
Laniach?
Yeah. They made a bonus, say Shema, and that's it. Yeah. You need something.
Nothing.
Oh. What do you write, Rabbi Elazar before right? Show me the laniach tefillin, Shalom. Well, according to the Ashkenazim, I'm not sure. According to the Ashkenazim, they always make two brachas on the shalosh. Laniach tefillin goes on both. Then they also say al mitzvah tefillin. They only have shalosh. Maybe they have to make both brachas. Laniach tefillin and al mitzvah tefillin. Pretty sure, because the din is, according to the Shulchan Aruch, according to Ashkenazim, if you made a hefsek in between, you answered Kedusha or Baruch Hu, or made a hefsek, Shalyad and Shalosh, you make two brachas on the Shalosh. So seemingly, you make Laniach and Al Mitzvah, because the Shalosh has two brachas to it. So L'maisa, l'chora, you're going to have to make both brachas.
I know for maybe that's it. That's the right. So we go back. I can show you how to that. The main idea. What? Go it. Look.
It's not what it says in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says if you made a hefsek, you make both brachas.
Why? Five. Well,
What do? You move your tefillin away?
no. Make the pressure again. Make drop out and then
I don't know. I don't know. Here, I don't know.
drop it going down.
I don't see what it's going to help, really, because the shalyad is fine. When you have in mind that you're going to take it off and put it on, you don't make a bracha. So undoing the kesher and putting it back, I don't see why that should mechayiv you a new bracha. I'm not sure. If this you heard this from someone, did it say somewhere?
I
Could be there's such a minig.
I and that actually yeah,
I think Rob maybe Vedas.
I think that
I mean, he mentioned Vedas can make a
We do.
people
Damas is full. You talk in between or answer Baruch Hu Kedusha. Shayan Shah. You should make Almas is full now on your Shalesh, yeah.
would be getting rough for totally out.
Also, you do Mifsayim, a lot of times they start talking to you in between.
I'm not sure.
If to make Almas is full now with them on the
So the book, yeah, that look at the only but to make it happen, actually.
This is a machlokes that we had and we learned 2 weeks ago, whether the shoresh has two brachas or one bracha. The Ashkenazim held, the Minig and Shulchan Aruch says, brings both shittas. One shita says, you always make an al mitzvah tefillin on the shoresh. Why? I already have a laniach tefillin, and I'm not going to talk. You're right. The laniach tefillin goes on both. But Chazal were kivei a second bracha special for tefillin shoresh. And you should make it every day, and you're having two brachas for the shoresh and one bracha for the shoyat. You make a hefsek, it says in Shulchan Aruch, according to this opinion, you have to say now two brachas on the shoresh. The other opinion is that no. You don't say al mitzvah tefillin, there's no second bracha for shoresh. Laniyah tefillin covers both. If you spoke in between, and now you need to make a second bracha, say the nusach of the bracha al mitzvah tefillin.
Well, that show that, and get that one.
If you make a gesture in the dua,
To show the one motion, someone.
maybe, yeah.
So that I learned how that don't.
Okay. Es kann sein. You say Baruch Shem, right? After it? Okay. Page Ches, Siv Beis. We're holding Simen Chavav Siv Beis. Who are the Meshach Tein, Shishri Oines? Shem Oines, Shiniachol Nirach Achas, Mehem Niach Oisa Shiachol, Mubarak. You put each one on its own. Mashka, you're going to go travel in a caravan of people. They travel together for safety purposes. And the caravan is not waiting on him. And he can't wait to put on tefillin shalyad. Not going to wait for him. Put on your tefillin shareish levad. It's easier to put on the shareish than to put on the shalyad. It takes less time. There's no kesher. The kesher is already done. So you need to put on your head. So it's easier to put on quicker. Met, when is it talking about a situation you know that later on during your trip you'll have time to put on tefillin shel yad? And if Ashken, if also based tefillin shel yad, tefillin shel rosh. It's only talking about a case that you know that later on you're going to be able to put on the tefillin shel yad. So yad. So you can put on tefillin shel rosh now, and you have a chance to put on the shel yad. Mashenkin, if you know that later on you're not going to have a chance to put on shel yad, you're not allowed to go on the journey. You can't be mevatel the mitzvah tefillin. Sif da'alim eini miniach al tefillin shel rosh levad. Mevarech ala beis brachas aniach tefillin al mitzvah tefillin. Oh, we have it clearly. If you're only wearing the tefillin shel rosh, you make out of two brachas.
When you do it, put it up.
Niach tefillin, well, mitzvah tefillin.
When you do it, put it up.
The shas you're putting it on. The shas you put it on before you tighten it. Im ene miniach al tefillin shel yad v'lvad. Ene mevarech al niach tefillin v'lvad. Yishayim shafil miniach al tefillin shel rosh, v'ani mevarech al mitzvah tefillin v'lvad. Over here, glad he says that that if you're only putting on the shoresh, we were discussing this. The Alter Rebbe clearly brings down this din. We were discussing on our own. It's clear here in Sifhei. If you're only putting on shoresh, you should say al mitzvah tefillin. We already explained in Simchaf Hey that the minig in these countries in Ashkenaz is like the Svara Yishayna that says, over there, he means the Svara Yishayna that's not here in the Sif. It's actually not clear. He means the Minik Ve'elu Haratz, the Svara Yishayna that's mentioned in Siman Chafhei that we were talking earlier, which is that you don't do one bracha, you say both brachas. But according to this comes out, who said in the name of Rabbi Merazov, only the Niach? Peretz, who said?
Yeah.
That he told you by the story of your wrists?
Yeah.
Maybe just ask Rabbi Merazov how he understood this sif over here. Sure you remember. Siman Chav Vav Sif Hey says over here, we just learned that if you only do Tefillin Shoresh, you make Al Mitzvah Tefillin, which is l'chora based on the sheet that we said earlier, that there's only one bracha for the Tefillin Shoresh.
We got some people.
For sure, no.
That's what we're trying to figure out. That's the Russian.
No, if someone's only going to put on Tefillin Shoresh, like, what should he say? What bracha? Here, the Alter Rebbe says Ashkenazim should do two brachas, like Svar Yishem. But what happens to those that don't say both brachas? So now they only want to put on Tefillin Shoresh. What should he? Should he say the Niyach? That mitzvah. But Paretz is saying that when he was during COVID, he was home alone. He was home alone and he broke his both wrists.
For 2 weeks, but not with that. That's a good possible, but
He couldn't put on Tefillin. But Raza told him to put on, should make the bracha al-Lahaniach on the Shoresh. So Grade, but after he said that, I was thinking, and he said that maybe that makes sense, Kilo. Because the mitzvah, the bracha of our mitzvah tefillin is seeming only the case when you made a hefsek in between. And this is now that looking it over, it makes sense to say al mitzvah tefillin. Because basically the machlekes is what was the takan of al mitzvah tefillin? Was al mitzvah tefillin on the shoresh only in a case when there was a hefsek? You made a hefsek. Now I'm going to say al mitzvah tefillin shoresh, because shoresh does have its own unique bracha. If you're being koil both together, one bracha, then the haniach tefillin on the shoyad will koil shoresh. But what happens in a case when you made a hefsek? That's when Chazal said is a unique bracha of the shoresh. Al mitzvah. Ashkenazim hold no. It's not only when you make. It's not when you make a hefsek. You always say a second bracha on the shoresh. That seems that comes out that the Alter Rebbe is saying that when he passed in the Shulchan Aruch, he said the minig is to say two brachas, one in the sheyad and the shoresh, times the hefsek, or you only have one pair, one shoresh, you should make both brachas. That's clear. But what happens to those that are knowing like the other opinion that he brought, which we are knowing that way based on the siddur, that we don't make a bracha on shoresh, only when you make a hefsek. You're only putting on shoresh, seemingly you should make a bracha on the shoresh. So we have to discuss this with the Rav. The Asra. That's the Rav app.
If we say both of them, do we get any more mitzvahs?
Huh?
Do we?
If
If we say both of them, do we get more mitzvahs?
Yeah.
You want to do it?
We have a minyan, how they say.
I went 7 o'clock. They're waiting now.
Someone coming?
7 p.m. I
Oh.
went to do it last night, 7 p.m. Then I waited till 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I went in. Not even a minute after the second, I think nothing. Brown.
Sivchov Zayin din mokem hanachasan v'oifen hanachasan. In this siman, we can learn where is the mokem that you should wear the tefillin, exact place on your arm and your head, and how should you put it on. Aleph, mokem hanachas tefillin shel yad is biyad smaila in your left hand. Shenemer al yodcha. It says yodcha, it spells it out with a hey at the ending. Normally yodcha on the Torah is always spelled with a chaf, a line chaf, a chaf sofit, and that's it. And here it says the hey, which makes it feminine. Yodcha means like her hand. The Darshu Chazal expounded on this. Yad keya, the weaker hand, meaning yad koi, like yad keya. You have to read it as weak hand. And a yad smells she tosha, the keya which is weaker. Pat, is someone coming? Where's Nachman Dave? Down here?
Brown.
Does he go still upstate in the summer?
Taking care of the baby.
Says he's taking care of the baby. Okay.
Thanks so much. To
How is Florida? Is it hot?
This is now hurricane season.
Hurricane season.
It seems to be raining almost every day.
Hurricane season that fully. That's like August.
It's hard. It's raining by you?
Yep. And it was pouring yesterday.
And what was the weather today? What was the heat?
Well, it was clear, but it just started raining a few minutes ago.
What was the temperature?